Wardrobe sponsored by Charmaine Freeman Designs.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Sharmark Show. I am your host, Sharmark Leo. And this evening, we have a very interesting guest with us, Miss Sherene Yarde. Good evening.
Hi.
How
Thank you
are
for
you
having
doing?
me. I'm great.
Yeah, thank you. Miss Yarde, tell us a little bit about your portfolio because it looks like you have quite a bit of stuff underneath your belt and it's really interesting to share with us.
Yes, so I am the founder of Destine Life, and under that, well, my background, I am a nurse educator by profession, and I am a health and wellness coach. Yes, so a little bit about Destine. So it's a safe space. So the Destine Life creates a safe space for women. We do events for women, targeting women of all walks of life.
Right,
Yeah.
interesting.
So, just pouring into them, having a place where they can come and share, without being or feeling judged. Yeah.
I like that. So before we go any further, Sherene, how long since this time agency has been around?
I really started in 2008 in Trinidad.
Oh, nice.
I started as a fashion line, and then when I got to St. Lucia, which is in
Yeah,
2014,
sorry for cutting you short. So your fashion line was called this.
Destine Designs.
Okay, interesting. So when you keep saying, I thought it was your surname.
No,
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 okay, all
no,
right.
no. So it started as a fashion line here at university.
Okay, nice.
And then when I moved to St. Lucia, I just, I redefined the space. So I realized, I went into nursing education because I was a registered nurse before when I was in Trinidad. And I realized wellness is really my passion, so I came into the Destine wellness space, and that's where I focused on. I started doing education seminars with schools, and that would have been just before COVID, even in business places, hotels and stuff. And then COVID came, and after that I just restarted, and this is time I'm focusing on women because
So when you used to do the wellness classes with the school, you had to go through the Ministry of Education.
the guidance counselors I went through. So
Okay.
the head person for the ministry, the guidance
I
counseling.
think going through the schools is a
Yeah.
very key thing to do. I think it will help in terms of shaping our young people.
Yes. And it's you want to do prevention, eh? And it starts from when they're young, what they eat, let them be aware that they are prone to diseases if they don't eat healthy, at a young age. So, we started educating them from there.
Yeah. So what is how did you dive into the area of the protection of women, empowering women? Why did you go to this direction?
Because one of my areas in Destine, I focus on weight loss, right? And a lot of my
Say that
clients
again, weight loss. You have to give me a secret before you leave the show.
and and majority of my clients are women. And you would realize, when they come in for assessment and we speak, they want a space. You see, they need support. They think, they're alone, they're alone
Yes.
facing all of this.
Yes.
Sometimes they're not confident in their bodies after
I can tell you
pregnancy.
that, yeah. Because even I have my fabric store, and when some clients come in, they tell you a lot of personal stuff. It's like they're looking for
Yes,
somebody to speak to.
that's it.
And even sometimes I think some people speak to their spouse and the spouse don't listen.
Right.
You're speaking to them, but they don't listen.
Yeah.
Or if they listen, they don't even remember if you try to
Right.
recap on that
So like go
conversation.
through the next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I realized, what, Sherene, there's a need. There's a need to create this safe space for them. And that's how I just started. It actually happened for my birthday in March. I said, for this birthday, I want to do something different. I want to pour back into the women. And I decided to do that event for women.
How many women was at the event?
50 women was at the
Okay,
event.
nice.
Right.
Was it a mixture? Because normally I see when they have those things for women, I just find is one class of females that's at it. And I think if you're doing something to reach women, you should mix the crowd. Or maybe sometimes there's a registration fee, and maybe the people that really need these programs cannot afford the registration
You
fee.
said it right, because let me tell you, that was one aim I had. I said, you know what? I am not doing this to make any money. I am doing this to really help people. So I'm not going to be charging a big fee. The fee was $50 to enter the event.
Oh, nice.
Right? And we got women from all walks of life.
And how many speakers did you have at the event?
I had 4 speakers at the event, and one was from the US.
Oh, nice.
A wellness coach from the US, and she spoke to them via Zoom. And it was really nice. They got one of my books, which is A Destined Woman. So, the feedback from that event was good, and, it motivated me to keep going. So I had another event last Sunday celebrating moms pouring into your cup. And this event, I would say it was more intimate. A lot of women poured out, they interacted more. They realized, hey, I am not alone in this. And that's what I wanted. We had women cried, they hug. It was that you at the end, they said they came tired, they came frustrated, but they left filled. So, and that's my aim. Because I think once we empower the women, then we'll have a better society, because women become moms, and moms train children.
And I think whatever they learn, and if they're empowered, they can pass it on to the children.
Yes.
Because I have this saying, I think sometimes if you don't have the right information, you can create monsters, and these monsters will go into society. And then I think sometimes with women, sometimes they don't have the right information, and they play a blaming game with the children. They like, oh, I tired, I fed up.
Yeah,
And sometimes they may be really fed up, because listening to you there is like, the fact that you make a child or you give birth to a child doesn't mean that you're a mom. They still have some little things that you have to learn.
Yeah.
Especially now, I think in society now, we have a lot of young moms. What do you do? I think paying my school fees, giving me a bread, maybe a brand name bag, is not a mom, and there's so much more. And I think if what you're saying, I think if this program continue, it will be a situation where the females can connect with the kids.
Yes. And then we hopefully we should have a better society,
Yes.
right?
On that note, we're going to go into commercial, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Hi, Sherene.
Hi.
Yes, I must say, it's very interesting speaking to you. I'm learning a lot. It's almost like certain things I've mentioned before. I don't have the knowledge that you have, but saying it, I know now I'm thinking that I was on the right track.
Yeah.
So when you have those programs, do you do a one-on-one if there's a female that want to speak to you one-on-one, maybe in private, and she needs a little more attention and stuff like that? She wants to share something with you, or she needs some more advice apart from what's been done at the event?
So actually, what I do, I let them know that they can reach out to me. All right. So they have my number, each of them, because what I try to be personal when we're doing the events. So when you want to register, it's me coming to register.
So is there a level of confidentiality?
Yes.
You would-
Yes. And at the retreat, we keep saying that this is a space where your confidentiality is sure. Right. So you keep reminding them of that.
I think this is very important because saying that, I think that's one thing we have to practice in St. Lucia at schools, as counselors, at the medical centers. You share something with the doctor, they go and gossip with somebody, or with the nurse. It's like they have the degree, but when it comes to the level of professionalism, it is not there.
Lack.
Yeah, they're very lack of that. And I think sometimes people want to speak out, but they're just afraid that they speak to you, but by the time they walk out of the door, it's like the whole universe has the business.
Yes,
and if
I
we can
get
give people that safe space, I think you'd get the strength of your program, and you'd be changing lives.
Yeah, and I think they felt it, because that's the reason why they opened up in the forum, so they actually asking me when we having the next one. Yes, I
Yeah.
mean, because we can't have the women or the mom's being overwhelmed and the dad's not there, so we know there are a lot of supportive dads, and sometimes we don't commend these dads for doing
Yeah.
a awesome job.
I think the funny thing about that, there's a small percentage that's responsible and stuff. But for me, when I realize men think the fact that I am the head of the house and I'm the provider, although these days the table has turned. I mean, and the ladies are making the digits.
Yeah.
So the men figure I bring the money, I'm going out with the guys, and they would not even interact with the kids.
Right,
Or
right.
and we come from, hey babes, how was work today? And we exchange ideas and talk about the day, what's for dinner and stuff like that. And even if you get that, even for me as a child growing up, my mom was a single parent. And then sometimes I just said in my radio show, if you did not know better, you think your mom was wicked because they did not know better.
Yeah.
And then they never told you, I love you. You never get a hug. So all of those things is very foreign. It was just a shouting and don't do this, the perfect
They
son.
were overwhelmed.
Yes, and the insults and stuff like that. They would insult, but most times it was very natural, but I didn't think some parents mean it. So I think with a program like that, I can imagine you will get some good feedback and some good results in the future.
Yeah, I want it to be impactful. That's the purpose. At least we can see some changes.
Yeah. I also heard, so if somebody wants to, do you have a platform, a Facebook platform, Instagram, if they want to go on
Yes.
your site
So
to get some?
destine.life, DESTYNE.LIFE. You find me on Facebook and Instagram.
So if somebody go there, they can get some more information, a little write up on what exactly you into.
Yes, and
Nice.
if you want to follow my personal page, it's She Is Destine. So you will find more about myself and my background and all of these things on She Is Destine. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Now, since you say supporting women and stuff like that, do you have kids of your own?
Yes, I have 4 kids.
You have what?
Four.
Tiffy, you don't look so mega. You look like a beauty queen. You're like your kids.
4 kids.
Oh wow,
2 girls,
congratulations.
2 boys.
Oh wow. Okay. So that means you have a little feedback and you can pass on that information.
Yeah.
Yes, I like
And the
that.
adolescent age and toddler and baby.
So you have everything covered.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. And I heard you spoke about a book. What is your book entitled and what's the purpose of the book? How did you get the inspiration for the book? What do you want to achieve with this book?
Well, I have multiple books. I have 10 books actually.
Wow.
So I think the book that you would be referring to was The Destined Woman. So
Definitely.
that's the one I wrote for my birthday, right? And that's the one I launched at the Destined Woman retreat because the name of the retreat was A Destined Woman,
Okay.
right? That book focuses on Proverbs 31 woman, right? Where you would find strength and grace, and a lot of times it's a devotional basically. And the devotional will help you as a woman, find your purpose. A lot of times, some of us just go about life not knowing, the reason why we're here. And, so if I want of a better word, we like headless chickens, right?
I would believe because even when I was young, as a gay man, I did not find myself.
Right.
I did not know my purpose. I did not know who I was. I had a
Right.
low self-esteem. But when I get to know who is Sharmark and what I stand for, that's why I'm here today. So I think when you don't know, because you figure you're a woman, you just live in.
Right.
You're just supposed to go to work, cook food, blah blah.
Right.
But there's no purpose. There's no
Right.
value behind it. But when you get to know your purpose, you embrace yourself as a woman. I think you would
Yes.
get more results.
That's it. So, and that's what that retreat actually focused on. Yes. So the book was actually targeted for that retreat.
Wow.
And the last retreat we did on Sunday, I did a journal book targeted for that retreat.
So the
also.
retreat on Sunday was a continuation of the first one?
Well, not really a continue. But you can't say that. But it was focused more on pouring into the woman because we see so many times as moms we point to everybody else's cup. But when it comes to our cup, it's empty, and you cannot pour from an empty cup. So that retreat was focusing on that, and we even gave them back massages. Blue Lotus sponsored
Oh,
back
nice. Yeah, I
massages
know Blue
and Destined
Lotus.
Wellness.
Yes, yes.
Yes, so
Beautiful.
so they got back massages, they got breast examination,
Oh, nice.
right? So stuff to
So
make
it's almost
them.
making them get in touch with
Yes,
that
so they,
wellness part of them. Nice,
yes,
beautiful. And
yes,
I think with that, what you're saying there, you cannot give what you don't have.
that's it.
So you need to have that energy, that self-esteem, then you can give it out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. We'll be right back. When we get back, we'll get into Sherene's book because it sounds like it's very interesting. Welcome back. Thank you for joining. Sherene,
Yes.
we need more details about the book.
So The Destined Woman. If you want to find grace, strength, find your purpose, then I really recommend it. I had actually a mom who came to the retreat on Sunday, and she stand and she said, she purchased my that would be my second book, which would be this book. That was the first book she purchased, and she read it twice. And then when she saw The Destined Woman, she didn't come to the retreat, but she purchased the book. She told me this is the second time she reading it, and she says she feels, she feel like she's living in her purpose now. And I mean,
Wow.
that's the point about the book, right?
So as an author, how do you feel when you hear that kind of
Let me
feedback?
tell you, I say, yes, that was what I hoped to achieve. And,
Nice.
it just gives me motivation to go on.
To just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to purchase a book, you can get it on Amazon, or I have books in St. Lucia readily available.
So how
Yeah.
the books in St. Lucia, how do they get in?
So they can contact me at 724-8199. My office is at Boardwalk.
Okay.
Yes.
All
So
right.
yeah.
What are you hoping for the future for Destined Women and just for you as the whole holistic with everything that you're doing because you have so much underneath your belt?
I really, because of the impact I'm seeing with the Destined events now, I want to do events for women at least twice a month. Every 2 months, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, every 2 months. If I get sponsorship, I will do it every month.
Definitely,
Honestly,
yeah.
because it's costly.
Yes.
So I would want to do it every 2 months, and focus, let them come in, and I think we have a better society.
Yeah.
And so that's my plan for Destined for the rest of the year. Actually,
Wow.
for me as an individual, I want to continue, impacting people.
That's important.
Yeah. My passion is health, is wellness. I teach nursing students. I want to continue teaching them. I believe for us to get healthcare in this, if I want to say 100%, we have to produce nurses that will give excellence and professionalism.
So when you say teach nursing students, what part of the teaching do you do?
Well, I do more nursing foundational courses. So, at present, I'm teaching medical, surgical nursing, pediatric nursing, health and safety.
Okay.
So, the core nursing courses I teach.
So since we're speaking about nurses, when you do in nursing school, is there a pathway, it's almost not customer service, where they'll train them how to deliver a human being in general? Because sometimes you feel like when you go to the hospitals, you've traveled and you realize, I thought was St. Lucia, some nurses are so kind and some look like they're not in their mood. And I think at that time I am so much pain and stuff like that. I think I need you to connect with me in a different level, try to understand me. I look at you as a counselor, as an angel. And then sometimes the feedback you get from the nurses are just not, it's a bit cold sometimes.
I get you and I understand you clearly. Yes, they are taught how to do that. But unfortunately, I think, and this is not me making excuse. This is me observing from inside and now outside, because I'm not in the hospital anymore, right? Because of the short staff, I think nurses get overwhelmed.
Like
because
they're under pressure?
Yes, they're under pressure and they snap. No, that's wrong. Don't get me. I'm not condoning it, but I'm telling you, probably that's the reason, right? And I think, nurses, in order to reach to that level where, you don't let that affect you and affect the patients, you have to look at, if this patient is my relative, would I treat that person the same way?
Yeah, I know.
So, for me, I always I tell my students, when you look at that patient, they are in their most vulnerable state. Because when people sick, they're very vulnerable,
Yes.
right? And they look to you to be everything for them. You can be the last hand that that patient holds. You could
Yes.
be the last voice that the patient hear.
Definitely.
So you want to be impactful, right?
Yes.
And so look at that patient as if that's my relative.
Yeah.
If you do that, then you will never treat that person
Yeah.
cold.
I think some nurses are very passionate. When I realized that last when my mom had a stroke, some nurses know they just remember the name so casual. It's like a principal in a school. If you have 16 patients in a ward, they know everybody by
Yeah.
name. And I think if what you give out to the patients, that's what you're going to receive.
Certainly.
Yeah, I know some of them sometimes they can be a bit difficult because they figure I'm in pain or you need to do a job. But I think at the same time, I think they must be have a technique behind the scenes that with a way to deal with it and make the space more comfortable for both the
Yeah.
patients and the nurse.
Well, the thing is, I tell my students, once you keep the patient updated, you will see they will not trouble you, as I'm using the term trouble because
I like the
it's
word updated. Funny enough, my
yes.
staff went to, she was supposed to do some procedure, and then she said, Mr. Lee, I was at the hospital for the whole day, and I was so upset. I seen my doctor going everywhere to everybody, nighttime coming, and nobody's coming to me. So at least, even though you could have even come to the person, but at least say, Miss so and so, give me so and so, I will come to you. Some form of communication. But it's
Yes.
like you there for hours in a bed, it can get uncomfortable because you're
That's the
not in a
thing.
ward as yet. And I guess some people get frustrated.
and 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 that will help the nurse in so many ways, because if you are lying on a bed and you hear since 2 a.m. and it's 2 p.m. and I have only seen one nurse, you must be worried. You're in pain. Nobody coming to tell you anything. At least if you come to that person, you say, you know what? Doctor will see you probably 10th on the list. You understand? So then they look forward for that. Now, okay, just now is my turn. Just now is my turn. So you cannot pacify them. So sometimes we have to look for these things. To, look at areas like that in order to help our profession, because I think it's just human. Do what you want somebody to do to you. If you lying down on that bed, you wouldn't want somebody to come and update you.
Yeah.
Yes, so reverse the roles.
Yeah. So my last question, because of what you do, I think it sounds very interesting. Do you work with they have a department with government that works for women and stuff like that? Do you work with them? Are they assisting in any way?
Well, actually, no, I don't work with them. I would love to work with them,
Maybe you
reach
should
out
put
to
a
them.
proposal and reach out to
Yeah.
them and right.
Yes, yes. I think, I would probably do that because, I would need some help coming down, because I realize this is becoming a movement now. So,
Movement.
yeah.
So what's about like the huge businesses like the hotels that have quite a bit of women working? I mean, like you say you do the students. Is it the time you can maybe do the teachers? Because sometimes I think there's women all over, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
maybe people need the help or they need the little advice or that listening ear. And then
Right.
sometimes, as you say, they work all the time and they're busy and they don't even have time. So you get home, you're tired, and the next day you just continue doing the same thing. And
Right.
just maybe if you can visit one of those workshops or attend one of those programs, I think it might just make a huge difference.
Yeah, yeah, and as you saying that, I'm thinking that probably, at my next retreat, I'll reach out to the hotel, see if you can send some women, at least, so people would realize, the staff would realize, my employers really value my wellness. So,
I like that.
yeah.
Well, we're about to wrap up. Before we wrap up, is there anything you'd like to leave with us or tell us before we wrap up?
Yes, if this is in general, you don't have to be a woman, you're individual, find your purpose, whatever you want in life. I think, put a pin on it and work on it, develop yourself. Once you develop yourself, I think that's where it all comes in. You would realize everything is a bit clearer for you now, and then we'll be better in society. We'll impact others positively because the energy you give out is the energy you're going to get back, right? So
That's very strong.
yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Sherene. Please don't be a stranger. In the future, anything you have, give me a call. Thank you.
Yes,
And
so
good
you
luck.
take it. Thank you
Thank
for
you so
having
much.
me.
And I think you're doing a wonderful job out
Thank
there.
you.
And I just hope that everything falls into place and your programs get bigger and bigger.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes, you are most welcome. Thank you for viewing. I'm your host, Sharmark. Good night.
Wardrobe sponsored by Charmaine Freeman Designs.